I had just returned from a trip. I was in Los Angeles actually for the high holidays for the first time since making Aliyah 6 years ago. And I landed back in Israel on Wednesday, just a couple days before the attack happened. And so I went. I hadn't seen my host family in a long time, and I was in Nofe Prat, in a small community just outside Jerusalem, on the way to the Dead Sea. So I was visiting my host family, and they're religious. So I wasn't using my phone for Shabbat when I was with them. There's a Simchat Torah as well, so we had celebrated all night Friday night. And Saturday morning, I, of course, not on my phone. The mom of the host family comes in and wakes me up. I could feel fear in her voice and see it in her eyes. She woke me up and she said, "Ben, I just want to let you know there are rockets starting to fly in from Gaza." This was about 8 o'clock in the morning for me, and the rockets had already been flying now for about an hour and a half, since 6:30 in the morning. Initially, I was like, okay, maybe this is just another one of these rounds. I wasn't sure exactly what the situation was, but immediately opened my phone, checked the news, and saw pickup trucks driving around Sderot, going door to door. And you can see on the security cameras these Hamas members going in, trying to find where are the Jews, where are the Jews. I saw that, immediately called my officer, and he said, "Come to base. Don't wait for the call. Come to base now." So I got in my car, waited in about 2 hours of traffic just to get into Jerusalem, as there was so many people, and everybody would clear the roads for the emergency personnel that needed to go. Eventually, I got home, packed my bag, gave my dog a big hug, and quickly went over with my roommate, who actually had just made Aliyah a few months ago, also from Los Angeles, and kind of gave him a laydown of what's going to happen, why I'm going, where I'm going, and how things will play out. I'll be in touch with him. He kind of takes over my life while I'm gone. In terms of my plants at home, my dog at home, everything, he just kind of is now responsible for. It was difficult for him to grasp it immediately, but over the hours and throughout the day, and I continue to talk to him and coordinate, and he's honestly he's a savior for me, and helping me to be focusing on where I am without having to worry about what's going on at home. But yeah, I immediately went to base, and we started to prepare, go into training mode, organizing our gear, and within 48 hours we were already here in the Gaza border.
I was in Jerusalem because I celebrate the holiday with my family. And then at the morning, my mom calls me, and she told me that we have rockets. And she told me, the Hamas shooting your friend. Wake up, hurry up. You have to check if the army needs you or something like this. And so I wake up. I was a little bit confused. I don't know what's happening. And then my father is an officer, so we're waiting together that the army calls us, and then my commander told me to come here, and then my father came after me, and then my father took me to the base with his gun because I was afraid to go alone to here. And then we hear the rockets in our way. It was terrifying because we don't know what's happening, and we don't know where did we go. And I took a small bag and then just came here. I didn't know how long it's gonna be, and then where I'm gonna be.
It's really very difficult to put it into words. Just the sights that we've seen are truly, I mean, we're seeing the pure face of evil here. The sights of things and experiences that we've had this week are ones that we're still going to be processing for years to come, most definitely. But I'll tell you just one story. When we first arrived, we were sitting on a little hill right in the entrance of the kibbutz, waiting for the next orders, when to move, where to go, and we saw Zaka, the unit that goes around and is able to find bodies and collect the bodies, put them into the body bags to identify the bodies, and then take them to the coroner. So Zaka was there, and they were loading just loading body bags onto massive trucks while we were there. And so the rabbi walked over and instructed us. He asked us to stand to respect the dead bodies, and everybody stood. And they loaded the dead bodies onto the trucks, and it lasted for about an hour and a half. And with each ambulance that was emptied, maybe 10 to 15 body bags per ambulance, we walked over and we all said the mourner's Kaddish, the mourner's prayer. And then once we finished and they finished loading the body bags, nobody instructed us to do this, but we all just broke out and we started singing the Hatikva. I got the chills. I looked over at some of my comrades. We all had tears in our eyes. It was so difficult, such a difficult moment, but it really kind of put into perspective for us of, why we're here, what we're doing, the fact that we all left our homes, left our families to come and serve our country and be here. So we weren't sure, it was just, there were a bunch of dead bodies there. And we woke up the next morning to realize that of all of the bodies that were collected and found there, 40 of them were babies and young children. That I just think of all the generations, the future generations that were completely butchered and wiped out there.
And I have a lot of friends that lives here, and her family was killed. And when I go to my friend's home to take her clothes and take things, I saw a very they killed a lot of family and a lot of people, and my friend family. I'm sorry.
It's the sights, that everything we've seen here. Even though we arrived the day after, we didn't see any of the actual physical dead bodies on the ground and lying around the community. But you can feel the emotions here. You can see it. What we saw was enough to fully picture the scenes of exactly what happened. Whether it be still dead animals that are lying around the kibbutz, or massive blood stains in the beds where people were sleeping and were just completely massacred in their beds. Cars trying to escape, and you see that there's they were hit with an RPG from behind and had no choice. The car crashed. It's just absolutely awful. And the worst part of it all, I would say, is that video footage is coming out. GoPro footage is coming out now off of the Hamas terrorists, that they filmed it all. They filmed everything that they were doing, this mass butcher of Israeli civilians, is all on camera. There really are no words. Throughout this week, there's actually a unit in the army that their responsibility, their job is to come to these communities and locate, whether it be pets or specific personal items that are very important to the families, and to reunite them with the families. We've actually also, throughout this week, we've seen several members of the community here of Kfar Aza who have returned to Kfar Aza, to the community, to either go through their homes themselves, reunite with their pets themselves, and a lot of dogs and goats and chickens and guinea pigs and cats have been recovered this week and reunited with their families. I sat with one resident here of Kfar Aza yesterday who came back, and she came back to get the dog of her friend, her neighbor, who half of their family was murdered. Fortunately, she and her family were lucky enough, and they were managed to escape. And they actually brought in a few other members of other families and neighbors as well with them, saved them. But she came back, and I was sitting and talking to her, and she was explaining some of the horrors of what happened, that they were hiding in the bomb shelter, that they could hear the Hamas terrorists on their roof, walking around, shooting within their house. The fact that she came back less than a week after this massacre to this community, to her home, and she told us straight up front, she said, "You guys are going to go win this war, and we're coming back to live here." And it gave me so much strength to hear how strong they are and how strong and the close knit of a community these people are. And the only thing that we could say was, recognizing how strong they are, how much respect we have for them. And as we parted ways, we gave them wishes that, they're going to come back, live here in the community, and build up a brand new community full of love, full of life. And that's who we are. That's what the Jewish people really represent. And it was beautiful to see. All of the reservists around the country, just like how Daniela said, we packed a small bag. Nobody was actually sure how long we would be, how much stuff to bring, what, etc. All of the A to Z, what to put in our bag. But honestly, it has not been a worry whatsoever. The entire country of Israel, and I would put the entire Jewish community around the world has really come together, whether it be sending donations to make sure that all soldiers on base have what they need, from underwear to socks to toothpaste and toothbrushes to hot meals every day on base and everything in between. Like the whole community of Israel and the Jewish community worldwide has really, really banded together behind the IDF and behind Israel. We have come together like I've never seen ever before in my life. And it's warmed my heart. The messages we receive, the support we receive, all of it gives us strength to keep going. Really, it's not taken for granted at all how much it makes an impact.
And it's so important to us because it's the small things that the people gave us, the food, the clothes, all these things. That's just a small thing, but it's very important to us for keep going and keep safe our country and our. Thank you.
The only thing I'd like to say is everybody has a responsibility now. Whatever we can do, we should be doing. Just as you said, this is much larger than just Israel versus Hamas. We are really dealing with a Western civilization battle and war right now. Physically here on the ground, in the public eye around the world, and in the media, and in communities all around the world, in Western communities all around the world. So we all have a responsibility, whatever it is, whether it be that, it's difficult to watch these videos and see the sights and the recalling of the situations and experiences, but to put ourselves into it and rise up to the call of action, that by doing this, we're able to share other stories to other people in the world who would never take it upon themselves to go do this on themselves.